Welcome back to the Sunday Business Page.
Marlee Matlin, the legendary actress best known for her Broadway and Academy Award-winning performance in the production Children of a Lesser God, once said, "Silence is the last thing the world will ever hear from me." Marlee also said, "I live my life like everyone else. Everyone has their own obstacles. Mine is deafness." The Western Pennsylvania School for the Deaf will mark its 150th anniversary next year. It's a nonprofit, tuition-free institution that provides academic and extracurricular programs to children who are deaf or hard of hearing from birth to the 12th grade and beyond. It also offers services to children across Pennsylvania. We're so pleased to welcome Dr. Stephen Farmer, Chief Executive Officer at the Western Pennsylvania School for the Deaf. He is joined by Josh Waterhouse, who is his interpreter off-screen, who will serve as the interpreter for today's interview. Dr. Farmer, welcome to the Sunday Business Page.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the 150th anniversary. I think a lot of people know of your school, but don't know very much about it. How many students are you serving right now?
Right now at the Western Pennsylvania School for the Deaf, we are serving about 185 students. And they range, as you mentioned, from preschool all the way through after high school programming. We also have other locations throughout our organization. We have a location in Hershey, another one in Scranton, as well as Edinboro. We serve about 370 children throughout the state.
That's a lot of children, and it's an important point to make that there are children born every day who have hearing issues, correct?
You are correct, yes.
My sister is an audiologist at Children's Hospital, and so she has worked with children for a number of years with hearing impairments of all different kinds. And I think it's important to restate again and again that those with hearing impairments can lead perfectly normal lives, just like you have.
Yes, I would entirely agree with that. The president of Gallaudet used to always say, "We can do anything except hear." And that is true in most people's lives.
When you think of your school, what is it that is most important when it comes to a young person who is born unable to hear? How do they recognize that they have an issue that has to be overcome through another mechanism, like signing?
Well, we provide early intervention programming at the Western Pennsylvania School for the Deaf. And the most important thing that we provide families with is services, appropriate services at a very young age, so that we may ensure that they receive those proper services and language intervention. Going further, we provide a variety of services at the Western Pennsylvania School for the Deaf. Our kids are provided with opportunities to have speech therapy, audiological therapy, sign language instruction, and a whole variety and gamut of services that we provide to these deaf and hard of hearing children.
I think one of the first services that need to be provided is, if I understand correctly, most children born with hearing issues are children of parents who are able to hear and therefore have no experience in how to raise children with hearing impairments. And so the parents need training as much as the children.
You are correct. And we do provide training along with the children. We train their parents. We teach them how to raise their deaf children, how to teach them at home. We send some of our staff into their homes to work with the parents and the siblings as well as any other family members in the home. It's an outstanding service.
So this is your anniversary year, 150 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What are you have planning at this school for the coming year?
We're planning to have kickoff with Pioneer Day, we're calling it, in early September. That will be the anniversary of the actual first day of the school, 150 years ago. And we have several different events going on throughout the year. We're going to have a big gala on October 26th that'll be hosted downtown. And we would really like to encourage folks to come out, help support us. We have homecoming. We have some big homecoming events planned. We will also have some performances throughout the school year, which will include our children. We'll be reviewing the history of WPSD and graduates who've gone on to live very successful lives after leaving WPSD. So a great variety of things will be taking place throughout the school year.
Yeah, Stephen, if I can ask you a somewhat of a medical question, what about work that is being done to try to bring back hearing? Cochlear implants and the kinds of devices. Are we further along in that today than we've ever been?
Yes. The first cochlear implant was implanted, as I recall, in the late 70s. And with cochlear implants and hearing aids, now we have digital hearing aids, we have made a lot of advancements in that regard, yes. We also provide a lot of training and support in those areas as a school. We have about 30% of our students at WPSD have cochlear implants, so we provide the supports that they need. About 40% of the other students have hearing aids, and the rest are unaided, do not have any sort of assistive devices. But we do provide students for those, services for those children as well.
That's great, and I can only believe it's going to get better as we move in the future with the technology. We have about 30 seconds left, so let me ask you, sir, how is it that all of us can be supportive of your school?
Well, learn as much as you can about deafness. The deaf world is a very different one. It has its own culture and way of doing things. We would encourage folks to come to our sign language classes and be aware of what deaf people are capable of doing, not what they're incapable of doing.
Well, Dr. Stephen Farmer, thank you, sir, very much for being on the show with me. And,
thank you.
And a special thank you as well to Josh, the interpreter, who's done an excellent job. One of these days, I got to learn how to do sign language. I don't know how hard that is, but I have a feeling it's pretty hard. No? Thank you.
Yes, okay.
Thank you again for being with us. Appreciate it. We'll be back with more of the Sunday Business Page in just a few moments. Stick with us.